my master's in public health. So I kind of come from two worlds. I come from this more holistic-minded world with my health coaching, and then the public health, environmental health, science side. I also worked for the Department of Public Health, as Julie mentioned, for 3 years in the Division of Prevention and Wellness, where we worked on obesity prevention, tobacco prevention, and smoking, and among other sort of initiatives that are up right now. But today, I want to talk about the microbiome because this is a really relatively growing field of science right now, and it's something that's really piqued my interest both as a public health and research professional and a health coach and what I see with my health coaching clients. So we're just going to do, that's basically a run through for today. We're going to do questions at the end. If you have a really pressing question during the presentation, I'm happy to take it though. So first off, I like to kind of start off with just taking a moment to ask yourselves what in particular you're looking to learn today. I come from this like holistic realm as well, so I feel it's important to ask ourselves what our intention is for learning about something, and to acknowledge that, like it's whether it's like science, curiosity, or if it's something like a personal health issue that you're exploring more. I guess I'd like to take just a couple responses if anybody wants to share what they're looking to learn today. Anything in particular? Becky? Yes.
Well, I'm new to the area. I just moved from Chicago, so I was actually just looking to meet some scientifically minded people who also have a holistic spin on things. And then, as well, I'm gluten intolerant, and so I have myriad things going on with that. So anytime I hear something about the gut microbiome, I'm like, my gut microbiome's not so happy.
Yeah.
So good to, and I have a baby in here, so
Congratulations.
good to make him happier.
Yes.
And the food was great. Really good.
Wonderful. Thank you. Yes, I will keep that in mind as I am finishing the presentation. And your name again?
Paula Tallman.
Thank you, Paula. Anyone else like to say what they're looking, anything in particular they're looking to learn? Well, again, like I mentioned, I'm fine to if any pressing questions come up during the presentation. So to start off with, I like to take a step back from kind of what we view as our current medical system in the United States, which is a very Western medical perspective on medicine, and just look at the world for a second. So Western medicine has a view of the body as body systems and parts. So they like to examine symptoms as some more or less isolated from maybe like the whole body. And this is the field of study, and this has been incredibly beneficial to us. We've learned so much about microbiology, and I mean the only reason we know anything about the microbiome is because of that perspective, that view and research on looking at the nitty-gritty and how these smaller parts and systems work together. However, there is a different perspective from the Chinese medicine, for example, where they look at an illness or symptoms that are presenting, and they not only look at the microbiological isolated part of the body, but they also take into account like the mind, body, spirit. And so the holistic perspective is kind of like a growing trend in the United States, where they're kind of trying to bring together the Western medical view with this more holistic, integrative, whole body view, which is in and of itself a different way of looking at and treating illness. So I just want to acknowledge that. One metaphor I like to think about is like a river ecosystem. So for example, if you have a river and you have like a fern overgrowth, for example, like a fern isn't necessarily a bad species, a bad plant to have in a river, But if it starts to dominate space and kind of like take up more of the underwater wildlife than it should, then it will start to block sunlight and, you know, maybe steal nutrients from the soil, from the water, from other plants around it. So that's one example of how, like, maybe one little thing could start to affect an entire holistic ecosystem. So what is the microbiome? There are actually two definitions of the microbiome. The first definition, which I think was actually surprising to me, but it's viewed as the entire collection of genes found in the microbes associated with a particular host. So we're born with 20,000 genes when we come out of our mother's body, and these are comprised of primarily from our mother and from the environment in the womb. And then over the course of our life, as we grow into adulthood, we will acquire up to 8 million genes. And where do these other genes come from if we're not born with them, right? Well, they actually come from bacteria and the microbes in our environment. So every time we breathe, every time we take a drink of water, every time we touch something, we're exposed to the bacteria in the environment. And these microbes are changing our genetic structure. And we're acquiring those genes and that gene expression within our bodies. The second definition of the microbiome is the ecosystem definition. So looking at the microbiome as the whole group of microbes that live within a human, and our human is their habitat or their environment, and then or we're their host, so to speak. So it's very interesting because the human body contains 3 times more microbial cells than we do blood cells. So we are hugely comprised of microbes and bacteria. However, you know, I think the dominant cultural